Hey, we're back with another make and take for the January 2025. 2025. This is your terrific make and take. So this one features the timeless um plaid. So just love the plaid. Love that plaid. And these dinosaurs are so stinking cute. Check it out. Here's the darling dinos, and there's die cuts to go with it. I just think they're cute. You can't have too many, like if you have little kids and stuff, perfect. Or we've been watching Friends lately, and so if you were going to give a card to Ross, you'd want a dinosaur card. All right, so you are going to have an envelope, a blank card, a piece of Cajun Craze, espresso, basic beige, and you should have 4 strips in your bag. All right, so I'm not going to attach to the card quite yet. I'm going to do some of my other things first. I want you guys to stamp our little dinosaur. And we're going to use Intense Black. It's an old Close to My Heart one, but it is the same as the Stays On ink because we're going to color with alcohol markers. So I'm going to go ahead. The Stays On is in another one of the make and take. So I'm going to do my little dinosaur on here, and I'm going to kind of center him maybe a little to the right. Just going to stamp him on. All right. We're going to wipe him off. I'll clean him. This stays cleans with Stays On remover, so I'll clean that later. But we're going to use the Intense Black for him. Oop. All right, we've got 2 more stamps. We might as well do all the stamping right away. So Cajun Craze, we're going to do in your Terrific. So you do not have to, I got really a lot of ink on this. These are newer stamp pads, so you don't have to press very hard. I'm going to go and line up your Terrific. There we go. Clean that one off because that really got. And your stamps are going to discolor. This one's red or has that red tone to it, so it's going to. That's just the way they are, and you can't help it. They're still good. They still stamp just fine. So then we're going to use Old Olive for our little grass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp once and twice, once and twice, and once and twice, just to give it a little. And I only inked it. I inked, then stamped, and stamped, and then inked and stamped and stamped. So, all right. So our little You're Terrific guy is done. So we are done with all of our stamping. So I'm going to put this stuff back in the box. So we're done with that. And we're going to let him dry so that the ink does not bleed. That's the color I'm looking for. So this will go on there eventually. So we have this timeless plaid. And everybody's is going to be a little bit different. There's several different colors. This is the more orange yellow color combination. There's more of a blue combination of this. It's super cute. Love it. So I'm just going to kind of play around with this, and I can do whatever color combos I would like. I think that. So you can leave a little space in between if you want. I am going to use my tape runner for this. This is plus. Looking for my tape runner. You could use liquid glue, regular tape, whatever you have will work. All right, we'll use green glue because it's here. And I can kind of move it around. So I'm going to go a little up So this one I put tight next to each other. So now I'm going to leave a little space in between just to see how it looks. Just a hair of space between. There. This one, this piece is actually embossed with the brick embossing folder. So that is kind of different. We want to give a little texture, so I pre-embossed it for you with an embossing folder. Like I said, just going to give it a little bit of space in between. And now this, you can see, is the opposite side of that. You should have that with hopefully something on there. It should be like the back side. And then I'm just going to give a little space here. So this one, they're bumped tight up against each other. And this one, there's a little space in between. Oh, it's already glued down. All right. Okay. So we're going to add this directly to our card base. Smidge of glue there, I see. All right. Again, I'm working on my glass mat. This time it isn't as important because I'm not going to be splattering or doing anything like that. But I'm working on my glass mat. So what we're going to do now is we're going to color. And these are the alcohol markers. And if you're not familiar with them, they're a little bit different than your regular markers, like your water-based markers. These are alcohol-based. So there's two different ends. There's a bullet end or a finer end, and then there's a brush tip. So I did this cute dinosaur's little spikes in the, let's see, Cajun Craze Dark. There's a dark and a light version of each one because it's only one color per pen, per marker. They do bleed, so don't press hard. And you can stay a little farther away from the line, the outside of the lines, because the alcohol markers do bleed a little bit. They're a little more intense, and I did his toenail, or his or her toenails too. In this Cajun Craze Dark. And that was using the finer bullet tip. We're going to use the brush end of these. So we have old olive dark and old olive light. If you've watched any of my old videos or videos about coloring with like the tri-blend markers, you'll know I like to go dark to light. So that's what we're going to do. And this one's not as important if it bleeds because we're just doing the darker spots. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the brush tip. And I'm going to do a spots in the dark. And I'm probably going to come back in and actually do them again. And his tummy. Oh, I forgot his fingernails there. You can see how it's kind of bleeds. So be careful. All right. So then I'm going to think about where would it be dark? If the sun was coming down, well, I'm going to do his nose, nostrils too. His eyebrows. Nice. All right. It would probably be underneath his chin. And underneath his arms and his legs. Probably at the bottoms of his feet. And under the tail. The arms. Okay. So now I'm going to take the Old Olive light colored. And I'm going to go right over top of everything that I just colored. It's going to start blending. And you can't see the brush marks with the alcohol markers. You can see the amount of color, that pigment that you're putting on, but you don't really see the brush strokes. So right here, you can see where it was dark. I'm just going to go over it again. And I'm going to just go this under his chin, on his nose, his eyes. Give him a little more depth. Here's his hands. Those areas again. So I could color up and down, sideways, back and forth, and it really won't show that, you know, that's what we're doing. So we can go over this as many times as we want, and it'll keep blending those colors. And they'll keep getting a little bit darker and darker and darker. So you can kind of see. So it's going to give them some depth. And now if I want those dark spots to get even darker, I can go over them again. With that dark. Because I want his spots to be pretty dark. And I could do the same with his tummy. And we did forget those fingernails, so let's go ahead or just a couple dots. There we go. I'm going to just kind of straighten out his face a little bit. All right, so your Terrific is done. So you can see how intense that color is because it went on the back as well. All right, we're going to use the green glue because I can't find my tape runner, which I probably just had a few minutes ago. I think everything needs to be on a retractable string in your craft room, like your scissors. Because how many times have you gone to your craft room and you cut something out and then you can't find it? You can't find the scissors. So this is some copper clay. You may have copper clay. You could use any of these strings. They'll be whatever's in the bin at the time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my dimensionals again on here. Do the corners. Do the middle. And I'm just going to cut a little bit extra off of these to do this corner and this corner. All right, before I put him on, I'm going to take off the covering. And before we put it on, we're going to add our ribbon, or in this case, our twine. So you are terrific. This could be for a birthday. It could be for passing a really hard test or whatever. So I like to just wrap them around my finger a couple times. And now I know that this is the one I want, and I'm going to attach it right to that foam dot. So 1, 2 around my finger. Cut, kind of pull it apart the way I want it. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add it that one a little bit bigger so it sticks out a little bit more. Just like that. So now I can see what it looks like. And now I can add it to my card. Kind of center it. It's already got those foam squares on it. So it's ready to roll. So he is terrific. So that one's pretty nice and pretty easy, but we're using the twine. So I wanted to make sure that you guys had an idea how to use it and how to attach it. That's the way I find it simplest to use. You could tie bows or anything like that. I did get a little glue, let's see, on the Terrific. These are wonderful. They're an adhesive remover, and it will just take that right off. That's one bad thing of that green glue. It does kind of go all over. I have some on my finger. So that's how you get rid of it. All right, there we go. There's your last another make and take. There are a total of 3 this time. So hope you're enjoying.